In the quiet folds of Piedmont, where the Alps cradle the earth like ancient sentinels, a name first took root: Vacca. It began humbly, whispered among the willows and winding rivers, carried by a man whose hands knew the rhythm of cattle and the soil. Vacca, they called him, a simple name meaning cowherd, yet destined to echo through centuries as something far grander than the lowly trade it described. From those pastoral beginnings, the family grew, their story weaving into the tapestry of history as the land around them shifted and blossomed. The Vacca name found its way into noble halls and sacred spaces, tied through marriage to the Marquisate of Saluzzo, a realm where mountains kissed the sky and lords ruled with both sword and brush. In the heart of this noble lineage stood a young man, the great-grandfather whose fingers brushed paint onto canvas with the same care as a shepherd tending his flock. At just 17, he stepped into the light of the House of Savoy, his brush capturing the spirit of churches, theatres, and royal palaces. His art was more than decoration. It was a testament, a silent hymn to the faith and history of Piedmont. He painted the cathedrals of Asti and Alessandria, each stroke a prayer woven into the stone and glass. The royal theatre's curtain, alive with the myth of Orpheus in the underworld, bore the signature of his and his brother's hands, a legacy of color and shadow. And beyond the walls of his homeland, his friendship with Massimo d'Azeglio and Alessandro Manzoni, figures whose words and deeds shaped a nation, tied him to the pulse of Italian soul and story. But greatness was never without its shadows. His heart belonged to Madame Olimpia, daughter of the Marquis Vacca, whose own lineage whispered of distant lands and noble blood. Together they bridged worlds, artistry and aristocracy, humble origins and storied destiny. Their love was a canvas painted with both light and quiet sorrow. Time moved like the steady flow of the Po River, carrying the family through joys and losses. The great-grandfather's children and grandchildren carried his legacy in ways both visible and unseen. A sister married into the world of agriculture, intertwining with Charles Baudelaire, not the poet, but a man whose hands shaped the earth, whose name graced the streets of Turin. Another branch saw a grandfather who, after loss, remarried and raised a son who would inherit more than just land and furniture. He inherited the weight of history. And then there was Uncle Guido Gonin, a knight who walked quieter paths, his days spent crafting elegant plates in Paris, far from the mountains, but never from the roots that held him. His story was one of modest glory, a reminder that not all heroes wear crowns or paint the grand halls. Some carve their mark in silence. Through it all, the writer of the letter, the humble voice that binds his stories, stands as a witness to the past. He carries the ache of time and the pride of blood, the soul shaped by the echoes of painters, knights, and lovers. He knows what it means to be a stranger in a foreign land, to feel the sting of forgotten names and faded glory. Yet, in his quiet, in his solitude, lies the heart of the family's true legacy. It is not just in the grand halls or the sweeping frescoes, but in the resilience to endure, to remember, and to dream. The story of the Vacca family is a testament to the power of roots, how they anchor us when storms come, how they nourish us when the world feels cold. So, as the Alps watch over the valleys and the willows whisper their ancient secrets, the tale continues. Each new day is a blank canvas, waiting for the brush of life to paint hope, courage, and love. The past is a lantern, not a chain, guiding us forward. And you, guardian of this story, hold the brush now. What will you paint? Because in the end, every family is a work of art. Every life, a brush stroke on the vast canvas of time. And your story is waiting to be told.